Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fleming TV Talk with me, Robbie Fleming, and joining me as always is the lovely guy, Cody House. Hello, Cody.
Hey, Robbie, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I found out recently me and you are both big fans of a little TV series called Game of Thrones.
Yeah, who wasn't? It's arguably the last television show that you would call, they used to call it the water cooler show. I don't know what you would refer to it now, but like basically it's a TV show that came on and pretty much everyone you knew watched it on for Game of Thrones Sunday night. So Monday when you go to work or school, you'd all be talking about the Game of Thrones episode, or people be like, I haven't watched it yet, don't say anything. And I'd be like, I read the book, so it's okay.
Yes, yes, you are right because Game of Thrones was everywhere, and everybody was very disappointed by the ending, which is what we're going to talk about today. Because today we are going to be ranking our favourite seasons of Game of Thrones from weakest to best. All 8 seasons we are going to be ranking from worst to best today.
Yeah.
Yes, and I don't know what it is, but we'll kick things off. But I have a feeling that your number 8 will be the same as mine, so take it away, Cody.
Yeah, no surprise. Coming in at last place, I guess it's technically season 8 or season 7, part 2, because of a lot of things. So when they announced they
Which
were
is my
going,
number 8 as well.
yeah, when they announced they were splitting the last season, because, the plan was George R. Martin had 7 books, which book 6 and book 7 have yet to come out. And in
Yeah,
fact, they met with George R. R. Martin and he gave them a rundown of what's going to happen. And they're like, we're splitting the last season into 2 seasons. And I forget it wasn't, and this, they really needed to do these last 2 seasons as just full 2 seasons because everything is rushed.
yep.
The battle at Winterfell is rushed, and then when we get to the said ending, there's really no justification or character arcs to where characters go. It just happens like immediately. And like we didn't need a full season from when they go to King's Landing and Daenerys goes crazy, but we needed more than an episode
Yeah,
of that
I
happening.
agree with you there on that. Yeah, season 8. The only episode I liked was the battle episode, and even that had problems because number one, it was too dark. You literally couldn't see a thing. Number two, it was horrible what they did to Samuel Tarly's character because they made him revert back to his old self, and he got a really good character killed. And three,
Also,
you kind of predicted. It was just a bit weird seeing this battle they've been talking about 1,000 years happening, and it was just over in one episode.
yep. Also, what was the point of Jon Snow? What was the point
Yes,
of him of keeping him a secret and not
yes,
letting everybody know his true self? And then he's just like, oh, I'm going to go back into the wall.
exactly.
Like, and 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 creepy ass Bran becomes king. What?
Yeah, I think he should have got killed off in that episode.
Like, I didn't mind like his council. I liked the people that made up the council for the
Although
king.
although I think it would have been better if Jim Broadbent came back and was his maester, not Sam, because Sam kind of looked a bit too inexperienced.
But yeah, it was just rushed and disappointing. And if they were rushing because they wanted to go work on Star Wars, they should have let some other people writers take over the show.
Yeah, Definitely.
And now they lost Star Wars because of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Although looking at David Benioff's history, the only good thing he's written besides Game of Thrones is the film 25th Hour.
He wrote that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a really good movie.
Exactly. So why can't he make other good quality stuff like that?
Well, I'm glad their other TV show did not get picked up either.
Which one was that?
They were going to do a futuristic show where the Confederacy won the Civil War, and it was about like the aftermath of that.
That makes for a good premise, but I can't see it like being written as like a TV series.
Yeah, so I'm glad it didn't get. But yeah, season 8 was a stinker overall and very disappointing end to one of the greatest fantasy properties.
Definitely. And yeah, I just think it was a massive letdown to the underwritten characters and, like I said, rushed it to move on to other projects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you ready for what I think the second worst series is?
Yeah, what are you gonna put as the second worst?
Season 7.
Same.
Yes, same. And let's just say one thing. Why does Ed Sheeran make a cameo in the first episode? That's just jumping the shark.
Is that series 7 that he showed up in? Okay.
Yes.
I
No, do
couldn't
not get me wrong.
remember.
I enjoy Ed Sheeran's music, but I don't really want to see him stick out like a sore thumb in the middle of Game of Thrones.
So series 7 is watchable. It's
Yeah,
decent.
it's watchable. My favorite episode is the one where they go over the wall. It feels something like Suicide Squad.
I do remember people. This is where things started to like things were getting wrapped up in an episode. Like I remember people like this whole series they've spent like an entire season walking around, and in this season it's like in less than a day they get wherever they're going.
Yeah.
Because again, instead of like just fleshing out 2 whole seasons, they rushed all this stuff.
Yeah. I don't get why they put a fan theory into the actual canon of the show.
Are you talking about Jon Snow's origins?
Yes.
Well, do we know that that's not what George R. R. Martin is gonna do?
Well, he might, but he might do it differently
Well,
now.
he's probably gonna change everything now if he ever releases the 2 books.
Do you think he ever will, or does a lot of people say that people need to stop asking him when the book's coming out, and he needs to just let him write the books?
I guess, but I mean, also, are people gonna want to read them at this point?
True, yeah.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, there will be people if they're ever released that'll be curious to see what's different. But I think there are some people that are gonna be like, "Nah, I don't care anymore. The show's over."
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the problem once you've like. I'm glad Top Gun was a success in terms of movies, but books are a lot more different.
Well, I purposely know a friend who stopped caring about the Harry Potter movies after the last book came out. They're like, it was like just my like something to do between book releases.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about with season 7?
No, it's perfectly fine. It's watchable. It's not as bad as season 8, but you could already see the downfall of where the show is going.
Definitely. I just kind of wish that I saw it coming. You ready for? Do you want to talk about your 6th pick?
My 6th pick is season 6.
Okay, that's a lot higher for me. Why don't you like season 6 as much?
It's just, it's that this is already to the point where they've run out of material for the show because they're just going on outlines now. It's not a bad season. It's just not particularly my favorite. This is the Battle of the Bastards seasons, right?
Yes, which I'm going to be talking about later.
Which is a great episode. Also, Ramsay gets his comeuppance, and it's a lot of good stuff going on in season 6. It's just, if you ask me what my favorite seasons are, this would be lower.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll talk about season 6 in a bit, but my I think out of the ones he ripped, the ones the books are actually based on, I think season 5 is my 6th place.
Oh, that could make sense. That's gonna be my 5th.
Yes, because I feel like this season is very, very like it's just talk.
Well, they did combine elements from book 4 and book 5, but that does make sense because book 4 tends to focus on mostly the King's Landing stuff, and book 5 focuses more on Daenerys and Jon.
Yeah.
And
My
that
my
subplot.
favorite episode of this season was the Hard Home one.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, that was a really good episode. Plus, in this season's mainly about Tyrion as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like Tyrion kind of takes the front as the protagonist of this
Well,
show in this
cor-
season.
correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't have time to watch all 8 seasons. Actually, I didn't rewatch any of this.
No, I didn't.
Uh, doesn't Peter Dinklage become top billing for the show after season 1,
Yeah,
season 2
season
on?
1 he does. Yeah,
That's what I thought. Yeah.
yeah, and for some reason, Ian Glenn's always with Ian Glenn after season 4. So I don't get why he's always with Ian Glenn.
I don't know. I guess because he's a well-known actor, but he's kind of a supporting character in the story. He's not like, because it would be really like the main people are who? Tyrion, Daenerys, Jon, and well, I guess all the Stark children, except yeah,
And the Lannisters.
and then you got the Lannisters after that. So yeah, I guess his character is more of a supporting character.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but one of my least favorite main characters is Sansa Stark.
Oh God, I could not stand Sansa for so long until because those first couple of seasons, she's annoying.
I don't like Sophie Turner. Don't think she's that good of an actress.
I
I
really
watched,
haven't seen her in anything other than this and the 2 X-Men movies she's in.
she was in a movie I was watching over the weekend called Do Revenge. That is a really good movie, but
Is
yeah,
she in that? Because I
yes,
knew it
she's
was
in like
Maya Hawke and the girl from Riverdale.
yeah, she's only like in 3 scenes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard that was good. I haven't watched it. I
You,
heard
you
it. I heard it was kind of like a Clueless meets Heather's type of thing.
literally, yeah, it is a massive homage to 90s teen comedies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's something new and something. Yeah, season 5 I think was a bit of a dud. In all honesty, I just didn't really find many of the episodes apart from episode 8 entertaining, and I don't know why, but I know it happens in the book, but I feel like the whole ending just kind of just felt like it wasn't really needed.
All right, you convinced me to flip them. I'm gonna do season 5 at 6 and season 6 at 5.
yeah, to season 6 have more entertainment value, in my opinion.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about season 5, I think there is more stuff because there's a lot going on in season 6 because that's where isn't Jon resurrected and like Daenerys and Tyrion are like actually going out and conquering and building an army.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you get to meet Euron Greyjoy, who I wish was more of a character in the last few seasons.
Uh-huh.
Right. But yeah. But yeah, my going on to my fourth, or was it fifth? I can't
You need to
remember.
do your 5th.
My fifth is season 2.
Oh, wow. Pretty low.
Yeah. So I find this one again, like season 5, is a bit more slower. It is better made than 5, and that's why I rank it higher. But it doesn't really kick in until the last 2 episodes. And this is what I loved about Game of Thrones. The penultimate episode was always like the big event, and then the 10th episode was always what happened afterwards.
Mm. Well, I have it at my number 4. And I really actually like season 2 because it follows the book fairly well, and like we get to see Tyrion run the kingdom. We also have all the inner politics going on between everybody. And actually Tyrion would have actually ran the kingdom really well.
One of my favorite characters introduced, Davos.
Yes, Davos is great. Yeah, we get Stannis Baratheon. There's a lot of good stuff going on in season 2.
Definitely. Davos is better when he interacts with Jon Snow, though.
Yeah, I'm glad that Davos stayed on even after Stannis' downfall.
Yes, massively. Although I thought that would be a big episode, the Boltons versus the Baratheons, and that was kind of over in like a minute.
Is that season 5?
Yeah, season 5.
That's right. Well, doesn't season 5 also have that epic fight between the Hound and Brienne?
No, that's season 4 because the Hound's not in season 5.
That's right. Of course, it's season 4.
Going back to the Hound, he had the best moment in the finale. He was the
Yes.
only character who got his arc fulfilled.
Oh, that's another thing I hated about the last season was Jaime Lannister. Like, why did he had that whole amazing arc through the whole show, and then he just goes back running to Cersei to save her? Like, come on.
Yeah, that was a bit dumb.
Yeah, why would he do that at that point after his whole chain of a character?
But yeah, number 2 has its moments, but I just prefer the other series.
So what's your number 4?
My number 4 is the first season, season 1.
Yep, it's a classic. It's basically, and it's my number 3. It's a whodunit, really. And I had not read the books before I watched season 1, but when I saw the previews for season 1, and I know they did it just to get some star power, but I was like, oh, Sean Bean's gonna die, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like, I knew it was coming. And of course, even when you're reading the events of the book and watching the events of the show, it kind of teases you that that's what's going to happen to him, because they're like, your dad and your brother, when they went to King's Landing, they were killed. So it's like they're kind of setting us up that Sean Bean's going to die. And anyone who's seen movies, 9 times out of 10, if Sean Bean's in the movie, he's going to die.
He doesn't die in National Treasure or The Martian.
Nope, but he gets fired in The Martian, and he goes to prison in National Treasure. So
I watched Possessor, which is directed by David Cronenberg's son. He gets
Oh, cool.
brutally beaten in that film, but he doesn't die.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, he doesn't die in Silent Hill either. But Lord of the Rings, GoldenEye, Patriot Games. He gets killed a lot on screen.
Yeah, he said that he won't accept a role anymore because of how much he's died in films in the past.
Yeah. But, it was really big of him that they got him for Lord of the Rings because, I mean, not Lord of the Rings, for this show, Game of Thrones, because of him being in Lord of the Rings and his well-known status.
Another
And
one of my favorite performances in this show is Mark Hadley as King Robert Baratheon. He got
oh,
him down to a
yeah,
T.
he's great. This might be one of his best roles. When
Yeah,
I
because he's one of them like Stephen Graham. He rarely gets the lead, but he always puts on a good performance.
And I was really shocked at first when I was watching the show that he was the king. I'm like, the full Monty guy? Because unlike Robert Carlyle, I haven't really seen a lot of him him in a lot of dramatic work. I've mostly seen him in comedy.
Yeah,
But he did do a great job. And yeah, he really delivers it.
and let's talk about another massive breakout star from this season, Mr. Jason Momoa.
Right, Jason Momoa is Khal Drago. I mean, he's only in one season like these other two performers, but yeah, probably every role he's gotten since is probably thanks to this show. Even though I guess he did Conan around the same time, but Conan was released after Game of Thrones had aired on TV, so everyone was like, "Oh, Khal Drago's Conan." Even though that wasn't a very good movie and it didn't do well, but
I
still.
still think his best performance was Dune.
He's actually my favorite part of Dune. I am disappointed they didn't have him in I wanted him and Dave Bautista to have a fight
Yeah.
in the movie.
Have you not read the Book of Dune before?
Not all the way through, no.
Ah. Didn't you see the 80s movie?
Yeah, but that gets very rushed at the end. You
It
can
does.
adapt things. I just wanted to see the two big guys fight, okay, Robbie? I wanted them to fight. It would have been a cool fight.
Well, you can make your own movie, hire them to, and then they can have their fights. Or have
Okay.
Dave Bautista as an Aquaman villain.
Yeah, let's get Dave Bautista as an Aquaman villain.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, so my number three, and these three seasons are like god tier for me because my number three is season three.
That's gonna be higher up for me, just a tad higher up. Actually, that's my number 2
Sweet, sweet.
because we get the amazing Diana Rigg, who might be the best character in the whole show, and the whole nation was rejoiced when a child died on screen
Oh, you
because
thinking
everyone
of
was
season
ready.
four?
Does Joffrey die in season 4?
Yeah, he dies in season four.
Okay, I thought he died at the end of season 3, which is why they imprisoned Tyrion in season 4, because it's based off the same book, which is my favorite book in the series.
Yeah, season three, the ninth episode's the Red Wedding, one of the most
Oh,
infamous
of
events
course,
in
the Red
television.
Wedding.
Which isn't even the main character's wedding. The wedding is two side characters.
It's two side characters, but that's where the Lannisters kill off Robb and Lady Stark.
And his wife and his wolf.
Yup. Very devastating, but that one guy says the Lannisters send their regards, and it's
And
like,
no Lannisters appear in the whole episode.
mm-hmm. It's one of the most infamous episodes of television.
Yes, and in season three, we meet Kieran Hines.
Yep, as leader of the White Walkers,
Wildlings.
the Wildings. Yeah,
And I think this is the one where Joel Mormont gets killed by some backstabbers.
Yeah, including the guy from Torchwood. I forget his name.
Burn Gorman.
Yeah, him.
I'm just glad that they killed Craster in that episode too, because he was one of my least favorite characters.
Yes. But yeah, that's basically Game of Thrones in its prime right there, season 3.
What, we're talking about all these characters who no longer appear in the show. Also, Barris and Salmi rejoins the Targaryen dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could tell he was a lot more happier serving Daenerys than the Baratheons.
Well, of course, because it's finally, a leader with purpose. Robert basically was not a good king, and then they strip him of his title once Joffrey becomes king. And how many kings did he serve under?
About a lot. He was one of the greatest fighters of Westeros.
All right, yeah, great character.
I've actually met the actor in person.
Have you? That's cool.
Yes. Yes, he's also in Rogue One as well.
That doesn't surprise me. I don't remember him in Rogue One, but
He was the old man with the beard. I think he was meant to be a character from A New Hope.
okay,
Yeah, I can't remember that character's name, but he was him.
gotcha.
All right. What's your? What did you say your number 2 was?
Season 3. So what's your number 2?
Season 6.
Oh, we have the same number 1.
Yeah, we have same number 1. Let me just give some words on season 2 first. Yeah, I really enjoyed this season because it seemed to have wrapped up older story arcs that were explained, and it was just a grand conclusion seeing the Battle of the Bastards and Ramsay Bolton's demise, as well as Cersei blowing up the Capitol building, which we all knew was coming.
Yep, Ramsay's death is maybe the second most satisfying death of Game of Thrones.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And obviously, we see the Hound come back and Bran come back. Obviously, we have some tragedies in this show because I was a bit upset with Marjorie dying and Hodor, of course.
Yeah. Oh,
everybody else in the Capitol building I didn't really care about.
You'll think we're terrible. We have a door stopper that says Hodor.
Nice. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And I think before he passed away, Max von Sydow was trying to get into every fantasy franchise he could to see he was also in Star Wars.
Cool.
And he's in this as the as a three-eyed raven before Bran becomes the three-eyed raven.
Are you talking about Max von Sydow?
Yes.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he is in a lot of things. He's the voice of Vigo the Carpathian in Ghostbusters. Of course, he's one of his most famous things is playing an old man when I think he was barely 50 in The Exorcist. He wasn't even that old.
I need to see that Swedish film he's in. Is it The Seven Seal?
Oh yeah, he's in a lot of Ingmar Bergman's films. They worked a lot together.
Was he in Cries and Whispers? I've seen that one.
I know he's in Wild Strawberries and The Virgin Spring, which is what Wes Craven's Last House on the left is a loose remake of.
Ooh.
He's the villain, of course, in Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
He worked with Steven Spielberg. I mean, legendary actor.
Oh yeah, he's the baddie in Minority Report as well.
Yep. I mean, he was 91, I think, when he passed, so he was in a lot of things.
Yeah, bless him. Bless him. But yeah, let's move on to season 4.
Yeah, season 4, my favorite series.
Mine too.
I guess got the seasons confused, but yeah, everyone rejoiced when Joffrey was killed. It's probably the only time in the world everyone was happy about a child dying. But Pedro Pascal,
Yes.
legendary character. That
Yes.
duel is one of the best fights in Game of Thrones.
Although he should have just killed him and not asked for the confession so many times.
Right? He had the fight. He had it. He had won. And like he should have just killed the mountain, because then the mountain like destroys him.
I know, right? But Charles Dance in this season, God, is he just amazing.
Charles Dance is such a great actor. Is this I can't remember if it's in this season or season 3. He basically puts Joffrey in his place, and Tyrion's like, "Did you just send the king to bed with no supper?"
It was the last episode of season 3.
It's just phenomenal. He's just so good at being like a jerk. He's just so good at it.
Do you wonder if he shits gold?
I mean, just everything. Like, I know he typically plays these type of characters, but he's just so good at it. Like, even in season 1, when we're introduced to him, and he's like, cutting up that animal while just casually talking politics with Jamie. It's just like, such a good actor.
Yeah. No, I love Charles Dance in this show. Just a bit weird how he was killed by his own son on the toilet.
Yeah, not a great way to go out. But also shows you that, like most people in this show, he's a hypocrite.
He is. Yes, there is a theory that Tyrion was part Targaryen, but I don't believe that.
Yeah, I heard that too, because there's that scene with him and the dragon, and yeah, that's just everybody trying to make Tyrion, which Tyrion's already a great character. You don't have to do anything else to him.
Exactly.
He's smart, he's capable, he's charming, he's funny. He's made it through with all of his hard issues he's had to deal with, like the resentfulness his father gives him, his sister that hates him. He's got a lot of issues, but he's overcome them.
He does. He does overcome them really well.
And also, he has a great bromance till that's no longer a bromance with Bronn. That's his name,
Bronn.
right?
I love Bronn.
Yep.
But even like in the last season, Bronn didn't really make much sense anymore.
Nope, he was just kind of like, okay, still here.
I don't know why. I think it would have been better if they killed him off.
Oh, so speaking of Conan, Max von Sydow's in Conan. He played Blofeld in the unmentionable James Bond movie we don't talk about. He's in the original Dune.
Yeah.
The
man just
he was in the Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd.
Oh, he does love sci-fi movies.
He did the Swedish dub of Disney's Hercules as Zeus.
I could picture him as that.
Oh, he was also in the Solomon Kane movie, which I didn't remember him in that. He's in Ridley Scott's Robin Hood.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so he showed up in a lot of franchises.
Yes. And I think Game of Thrones is one of his most memorable performances in the modern age.
Yeah, probably past. I'm looking here. Probably past Minority Report. That's probably correct.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yes. Yes. Shall we count them down then?
yeah. Let's count them down.
Our weakest was season 8.
Correct.
Was our second weakest.
Season 7.
My third weakest was season 5.
I changed mine to season 5 as well.
So your fifth was season 6.
Yes.
My fifth was season 2.
My fourth was season 2.
My fourth was season 1.
My third was season 1.
My third was season 3.
My second was season 3.
My second was season 6.
And we both had season 4 at number 1.
Yeah, season 4 is the best season of Game of Thrones, and I think this was the high point before it all went downhill.
Yeah, I think it slowly was building itself up with these first 4 seasons, and then
Yeah.
with the last 4 seasons, it was just kind of a downhill
Yeah,
till we got to the last season.
yeah. There's nobody liked season 5. Plus, I think the controversy about the rape scene did
Yeah.
put a lot of viewers off too.
Yeah, that wasn't cool. That might have been a little too much.
No, because even Ewan Ray and Alfie Allen and Sophie Turner hated doing that scene.
Yeah. But that's why Ramsay's death is so satisfying at the end, though, in the next
Yes.
season.
Yes, definitely.
Because of how monstrous he is.
Yeah, I enjoy watching season 1 a lot just to see how it evolves.
I like the mystery in it. Like it's like Ned Stark's, like that section of it is like Ned Stark's like a detective trying to or an investigative reporter trying to unveil a conspiracy sort of thing going on.
Yeah. That is a good way of putting it, actually.
Speaking of another legendary actor who's been in so many franchises, the guy who plays the Maester for King's Landing, that guy has been in Indiana.
Oh, Julian Glover.
Yeah, Julian Glover. He's been in Indiana Jones. He's been in Star Wars. He's been in Doctor Who. He's been in James Bond. He's the voice of Aragog in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Shame he's one of my least favorite characters in Game of Thrones.
Jamie?
Well, no, Jamie's not. Julian Glover's character is.
He's not a great character. I'm just saying the guy's got his franchise gauntlet. He's like a regular Mads Mikkelsen with his franchises he's picking up.
There are a couple of characters I do love, even though I love Ramsay Bolton, but I know how much a hateable guy he really is.
Well, I mean, the actor who plays Littlefinger is great, but you hate that character, though, right? But he's so good.
Season 7, when Arya killed him, that was probably the best thing about season 7.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, finally, this annoying twat's getting killed off.
But you know, Tyrion, Ser Jorah Mormont, those guys are great. I'm not a huge Jon Snow guy. He wasn't my favorite.
He was until the last season.
Arya's great.
Arya's my favorite of the whole characters.
Daenerys
she's the only
was
one
great.
I would give like a spin-off to because I want to see what she does exploring all these new worlds.
So you want an Arya spin-off?
Yes, where she explores the world, and I think Maisie Williams would be up for it.
Yeah, that could be good.
She could have her own team she goes off exploring with.
Yeah.
Have her running with with
If
the
we're going to
face.
get spin-offs, I guess it's going to happen. I don't know. Are they doing any others besides the House of Dragon?
I don't know, because they keep cancelling them.
Yeah, I was going to say they canceled the Naomi Watts one, right? Which was supposed to be also about the Targaryens?
Yes, and John Sim from Doctor Who was meant to be in it too.
So, I don't know. I don't know if they should do spin-offs, but I mean, I guess people are watching House of Dragon. Like, the pilot episode broke HBO Max.
I've not seen it yet. But I
It's
would
not
like
bad.
to.
I haven't seen the latest episode, but it's not bad. But like when they reveal like what's happening in the future, and it's like, yeah, we already know, which is the nature with prequels. Matt Smith is really good in it.
I've heard.
I guess she shows up later in the show because I guess her character has to age, but Olivia Cook's supposed to be in the show, but she hasn't shown up yet.
Yes. I've heard that. What's Paddy Considine like?
He's solid. He's solid. He's fine.
Yes. And before we go, I wanted to ask, what did you think to the new episode of Rings of Power?
Oh, I am thoroughly enjoying this show. It
Yes.
is it's beautiful. And I'm liking it. Yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. I like just being in the world.
Yeah, I prefer the world it builds and the acting compared to the story, because the story art is very slow paced.
Yeah, I mean it's not the greatest television, but like I'm just enjoying watching it.
I think this is the closest we're getting to Peter Jackson's original trilogy.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, it looks pretty similar to those movies.
Yes, it does. It does. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll have more quality TV to talk about.
Of course.
Yes.
There's so
yes.
much out there.
Definitely. Right. I'm going to have to leave things here. Thank you, Cody, for coming on. Thank you, guys, for watching. Let us know your favourite Game of Thrones season in the comments below. Also, drop a comment if you want to see me and Cody talk about other topics. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And also, don't forget to talk. Don't forget to check out my website, robbiesreviews.co.uk. Cody, where can they find you?
You can find me at FilmNerd85 on Twitter and Letterboxd. You can also check out my YouTube channel, Film Nerd, or my show, Video Store Rejects, which has a Facebook page and a Twitter page. We are doing a lot of episodes this weekend. We've got a Cameron episode we never shot, and since Avatar's being re-released, we're going to be talking True Lies. Going to be doing A Serious Man and True Grit for the Coen brothers, and then for spooky season, we're talking Peter Jackson's The Frighteners and Sam Raimi's Drag Me to Hell.
Nice. I'm currently I've only got 4 films left of Sam Raimi's to watch before I rank his films.
Darkman. What are the other 3?
And the Evil Dead trilogy.
And the Evil. So you saw Crime Wave?
Yeah, I watched it last night.
What did you think?
It's interesting, but it's not his best.
No. I think him and the Coens kind of disown it. But I don't think it's his worst movie. I think it's
I think the baseball one is his worst movie.
That's pretty close. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Because his vision, his styles there it's just kind of incoherent.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so there are things to like in it, but like it's kind of a mess.
Yes, I'm hoping Darkman and the Evil Dead trilogy.
Oh, those are classic Raimi. Unless you just don't like Raimi's style, then
no, I love his style, and that's what I loved about Doctor Strange.
Then you can't go wrong because that's like the prime example. And the reason Darkman even exists is because he couldn't get the rights to make The Shadow, which I would still like for him to do an adaptation of The Shadow.
That would be interesting. That would be very interesting. Yeah. Right. Thank you very much, Cody, and I'll talk to you and everybody else soon. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye, Cody.
Bye, Robbie.
Bye-bye.